Today I'm going to show you how to use a medical database to get the information you need to answer a clinical inquiry. The one I have as a sample for today is what is the effect of physical therapy on adults affected with orthopedic trauma on their quality of life, ability to return to work, or perform daily living tasks. Um, so the parts of Pico that the parts of the Pico format that are going to be used to help find the information are patient, adults with orthopedic trauma, the intervention of physical therapy, and the outcome, whether that it has a positive or negative effect on the person's quality of life. The database I'll be using is PubMed, and to start off with, we should start the search with the first part of PICO, the information we know about the patient. What I know is an adult dealing with an orthopedic injury, so we'll start with that. And the articles that we have here are, even though they have the information for just one small part of the search, are already going to be useful to us, because if we go inside one, the bottom of the page gives us the mesh subject terms associated with it that are words the databases prefers over the ones that we put into its search, and it will give a more accurate information in the end if we use that. So I know orthopedics from my limited knowledge of medical terms has to do with fractures in bone. So we're going to add that to the search. We'll come back to that later. Um, and now we can move on to the second part, I, and for the physical therapy intervention. Now trying for the intervention part of our search, the second article from the top here looks like it has a title that is similar to the information we're looking for, so we'll look into there. And when we are looking at the mesh terms again, exercise therapy and physical therapy, sorry, I can't say the last word, but seem like the appropriate ones to pick for the intervention part of the search. If I was in a work setting, I would ask the healthcare professional that I was assisting if this was the appropriate ones to add. The final thing that should be mentioned about this part of the search is when I pressed for both mesh headings have that they should be added to the search, they pop up on the top bar here, but that we should erase the and between them and put or in instead, because that tells the database that the articles we want later on are it we should have either one, but if there's an and between them, it mean the data that tells the database that the articles must have both inside them, and that limits the amount of information that we get. For the final part, we go to the advanced search area that you would see at the top of your page in the previous searching section. I went ahead and searched quality of life, and I don't think it needs to be tampered with any further because I got a good amount of results out of it, and it's a phrase likely to show up in articles involved with the other terms that we have here. For the final part, to get the answers to the clinical question, you just need to add the three parts of the PICO statement. So in 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 the order that they're supposed to be in. So in a patient with bone fractures, does the use of exercise therapy or physical therapy modules modules um, improve the quality of life? And so the result of that is that we got 87 possible articles to sift through that some of them do look like they would be useful to that. But if one last part of the PICO search is important to the healthcare, if you remember that it was specifically they they wanted to know this about an adult with bone fractures, then you can go to one of the limiters here and pick the adult ages that they have available. And that limiter would put it to only 12 results, but it still looks like information that would be useful to the person asking it. Thank you for watching.